All right. All right. Ugh. Okay. Good evening. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. I feel like, I don't know, my posture's a little off balance. Here we go. Now this feels better. This feels better. I just got to make sure to project my voice. I just got to make sure to projectinolate my vocal, my oral musings uh properly. I'm still feeling very, what did I describe it yesterday as? Passive? I'm still feeling very passive. I I don't know. I guess that's the best way to describe it still. Although I think it's moving towards a zen-like state a little bit. I think it's moving a little bit more towards zen now. I'm feeling contented. Especially with regards to the stream. It's been too long since I did a draw stream. I need to not let myself uh I need to not let myself do this. I can't skip draw streams anymore. It's not allowed. I gotta hold myself to a higher standard. Because I do like them. They're always good. They're always a nice, I don't know, they're always a nice time. They're probably my favorite. When they're good, they're the best. I guess I should say it like that. I enjoy all the streams I do, obviously, or I wouldn't do them. Um, they have their ups and downs, but I think when a draw stream is good, I think the best draw streams are easily my favorite streams to do. When they're good, they're top tier. They're S tier. They're S plus. They're tier 0. Meta defining. Six entrants in the top 8 of grand finals were all art streams. It's crazy. It's crazy to think, but it is true. Anyway. There we go. Now what do? I do this. I remember. I know. I know what it is I need to do. There we go. What up? How's it going? What up, Bedman? Stone? What up, Grinner? You quite like the tunes? That was Emily A. Sprague. Piano 1 by Emily A. Sprague. She's quite a good composer. She's an ambient music composer. And I quite like her work. That's a good album. What's it called? Water Vision, I think? Let me check. Where is it? Oh, Water Memory / Mount Vision. Okay, that's right. It's a double album. I mash those two together. Water Memory / Mount Vision. Good stuff. Good stuff. You've been thinking about the questionable ways in which lips are drawn in many art styles. What about me? Would you describe my lips as questionable? Not. I take. Okay, don't answer that question. Would you describe the way that I draw? Would you describe the way that baby? Would you describe the way that lips are drawn in my art style as questionable? Answer that question. Don't don't respond to any of the other things I just said. ignore those. I mean, they're there. They're subtle, but they're there. You've been exposed to great deals of smack barm pea wet. Is that like what is this like free association? What is that? What is that sequence of words supposed to mean? Does that mean something? Or was that just like a random series of words? Is that like a CAPTCHA that you had to solve in order to finish posting that chat message? I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Wigan food? Whoa, can you say that? What the hell does that mean? Oh, it's a place in Greater Manchester, England. It's a town. And they've got their own food, I guess, called pea wet. This is a big art. This is a big Wikipedia article on this place. They must have. There's a lot going on here, I guess. It's good as gravy. Is gravy good? You miss me? It's been decades. It really hasn't been that long. It's been exactly the same amount of time as it usually is. I mean, I don't know. I don't see what's wrong with this. I don't see what's wrong with these lips. I like the weird shrunken head in the background. At least I think that's what that is. Nuh-uh. I think so. Smack barm pea wet. Is that one thing? Or multiple things? Hold on. I'm gonna look this up. A potato scallop, a type of fried potato cake, served in a buttered barm, a type of bread roll, with the pea wet drizzled on top. The pea wet is the liquid drained from mushy peas. Sounds horrible. Sounds really bad. To be fair, I've never had mushy peas before, but I don't really like regular peas all that much. So making them into mush and then draining the liquid from them and pouring it on, I don't think I would enjoy that. I'll try it. I'll give it a whirl. Like, I don't know. I'll try anything once, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about that one. I'm not too sure about that. I'm wrong? Okay. Is there some serious delay here? That's weird. Is anybody else getting that? I haven't changed anything. Maybe it's on Twitch's end. I'm not sure. Worried about it? You're exploding. Well, I don't know if I can do anything about that. You mean the one on this? I think it's just when I'm tabbed. I think it's when I'm looking at a different window. I think it, for some reason, I think it doesn't update when I'm looking at, like, if I'm looking at a different window or I'm looking at something in Firefox, I think the chat doesn't update on the screen for some reason when it's not in focus, you know? Because it's like the new messages aren't loading on my screen and I'm just capturing the window. So I think when the window's out of focus, it just doesn't, like, the messages are still being sent, but they're just not, you just can't see them update on my screen because I'm not looking at the chat, you know? I think that's what that is. Well, I don't know if there's anything I can do about you exploding. I think it might be too late for me to worry about that. If it just happened I think if the... What was I gonna say? I don't know. I lost my train of thought mid-sentence. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I mean, I get what you're saying, Stone, but I don't know. I don't see it. Unacceptable. I mean, there's not really anything I can do about that. That's the danger when you post links. When you post links, I click on them, and then I can't be looking at the chat. I'm sorry. A train of thought is unacceptable? Oh, well, I don't know if there's really anything I can do about that either. I don't think there's anything I can do about that either. I mean, I could try to focus, but that just seems impossible. I could try to, like, get my mind right and focus, but I don't know. I don't know if that's physically possible. I might never be able to do that. So, I'm sorry. Feels you're deeply worried about it? If mocking lower class British food? I think you worry too much. I think you might be a little bit too worried. I don't know if that's really something that needs to be deeply worried about. Maybe I don't worry enough. I can assure you that's not true. I can assure you that is not the case. That much I can guarantee. Some linguistic mockery feelings. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you can deny that. What is it? I don't know if you can deny that smack barm pee wet is a fun thing to say. I don't know if you can deny that that's a funny string of words. That again is nigh unintelligible to someone who doesn't already know what it is. Now I get it, but on first glance, Now it makes perfect sense, but you're gonna go sob in bed right now? Okay. See you later, Bedman. Enjoy your sobbing in bed rotting. If you can. Make the most of them. This is a good coffee. I like it. I felt like I needed a little bit of a boost. I felt like I needed a little bit of a boost. But then I got a little sleepy. Or then I was feeling a little sleepy, and then I got a boost before I even started drinking the coffee. Once I started the stream. So maybe it was unnecessary. We'll see how this pans out. We'll see if this pans out in my favor. I don't know. People have insulted you personally with questions of spotted dick and beans on toast. Well, spotted dick, I can understand thinking is funny. I don't know why you would bother somebody about that. That seems strange. And I've never had beans on toast, so it might be good. I don't know. Apparently, the beans that they put on the beans on toast are very different from the beans that I would think of. They're a very specific type of bean that goes on the toast that I've never had. So maybe it's good. I don't know. I got nothing against beans. I have had baked beans, but I'm pretty sure that the baked beans... I'm pretty sure that British baked beans are different from the ones that they have in America. I think it's one of those situations where what you call baked beans and what I call baked beans are two different things. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that from multiple sources. Yeah, I guess. I don't really know exactly what that means. I don't know what the difference between UK bacon and American bacon is. I guess there's a difference there too. I'm not familiar with that one, but I guess so. Do you mean streaky as in like you can see the fat in it? Okay, it's a different cut. Let me see here. British bacon. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not the same. Actually, that kind of looks like that kind of looks more like Canadian bacon. Although now that I'm looking at pictures of Canadian bacon, this might even be a third thing. This might even be a different thing too. They might be three different things. I had to look up what Canadian bacon looked like, and now I think that might even also be different. It's so hard to tell me sometimes. Good. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. That sounds about right. What did we do last night? Oh yeah, we played more Odin Sphere. I like that game. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. I hope you all are enjoying it too, because I think it's probably still gonna be a while before we finish it. We still have to do Oswald, and then we have to finish Oswald. Then we have to do Velvet, and then I think there's a final section after that. There's like one more thing after that. Wait a minute. So there's even two different types of Canadian bacon? There's even two different types of bacon in Canada? That's fucked up. I don't know what I want to listen to tonight. I feel like there's a specific mood that I need to aim for. I have a goal tonight, okay? I have a specific goal tonight. I have a specific goal tonight. I'll inspect that later. I'll do some bacon research later. So I feel like there's a certain vibrational frequency that I need to hit. Not sure what the best path towards that is, though. I guess we can start with an old standby. We can start with the easy one. I'll throw myself a layup here. If I drew lifts as if I drew some of the prominent lifts. I've tried. I've tried to get more lippy, but it never really works out. I haven't quite I need to focus in on that. And do a piece that's just solely to emphasize the lips. Because every time I try to do it, it always ends up I'm always like, I don't know. It doesn't quite look right. It looks off. I don't know. I think I don't know, I should work on that because it would give me more, it would help add a little bit of variety to faces and things like that. That was weird. I kind of did a little burbling. I did a little bit of blubbling with my last sippy there. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I have noticed that stuff. I'm well aware. But yeah. Tonight we're gonna be doing some idea development. Tonight we're gonna be doing some development. Which I was gonna do last weekend, but I don't know. I decided not to, and I don't really know why I decided not to. I think I was a little skittish. You know what? Let me save these real quick. Okay, let me get in the zone. Let me get in the proper headspace. Okay, there we go. That was it. That was all it took. Oh wait, this is the wrong song. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. That's because I meant to do this instead. Now we click on this. Is this working? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I've been thinking. I've been thinking lately about ideas for the Yume Nikki fan game that I never made, which I may still make because I think about it every once in a while. And I have a lot of new ideas for it, so I kind of want to work on those a little bit. I kind of want to start thinking about that. Actually, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna grab my glass of water real quick because it's over there. I forgot to get it. All right. Ugh. But yeah, I put in a little bit of time. I put in a little bit of time in this idea a while ago, a long while ago, years ago at this point. Um, and I did kind of a drawing of what the main character might look like, and I still like her. I still like it. So I kind of want to do an updated version of this, but I think the new version. I can't remember exactly, but I think in the old one, you enter like an abandoned house or like the middle of the woods or something when it's raining, hence the rain jacket. Um, but I think I want to make this reboot a little bit more mystical, a little bit more magical. So I think we're gonna make it a little more druidic. I have some ideas for how I want this to be set up, but and we can talk about the title in a little bit too, but I think I want it to be a little bit more nature coded, a little bit more mystical. So I think we're going to take the basic elements and we're going to try to update them a little bit. Give her glasses. We could do that. We could do that. I do want there to be a little bit of customization with the outfit. I do want there to be like maybe you could put on like a different hat or like change the color of things. So glasses could be an option. Anything like that, anything like any accessories, I think I want to be optional or toggleable. So glasses could work. Or snakes for bones. I don't think I want to do that. But you know, one of the staples of the Yume Nikki of Yume likes is effects and transformations and things like that. So there could be one that turns you into a snake. That's possible. There could be a lizard transformation. You know, like the Dark Souls snake people. You could have your head become a snake. That's not a bad idea. Oh, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. I'm glad that I did that, so I noticed that I'm drawing on the wrong layer immediately. Okay, hold on. These are not, like... These are very minor elements that could be added later. We gotta get more than nothing down on the canvas, okay? That's a relatively minor one, I feel. Strap a massive book to her like a backpack? That is not a bad idea. Because I do want this to be a little bit more video gamey. And I want you to be able to, like, collect things. So maybe that could be what you collect. Maybe you collect magic or words or whatever into your spellbook. That's not a bad idea. It might make the design too... how do I say this? Too busy. I'm not sure, though. I want to keep it relatively simple. So we'll see. I also want this to be, like, easy to do. I want this to be, like... Part of the idea here is I want it to be, like... simple to make this shit. So... I want to, like, you know... keep the design very basic. It's the chibi proportions. Give her the luggage? What's that? What's the luggage? I don't know what that is. I swear if this is Homestuck related, I'm gonna be not surprised, I guess. Oh, it's a Discworld thing. Okay. That was my second guess. I couldn't think of the name, but I was like, there's another thing that always gets referenced. That's a little intense. I don't know if I want her to have that. I don't know if I want her to have that. This would make for a good NPC, though. That would make for a good denizen of the dream dimension. Which I guess they're not really dreams. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to be in this. They might be more symbolic of dreams as opposed to actually being dreams. You know? They might be more dreamlike as opposed to actually dreams. I think the one thing that I definitely want to keep is the hair. I'm a big fan of the little hair dollop. I don't know what made me... I don't know why I decided to do that or where that came from, but... that needs to make a return. That needs to come back. For sure. Irregardless of anything else, the hair dollop needs to return. For sure. That's the one thing that I need to make sure gets retained. It could be something like that. Okay, well, here's where we can start taking some notes, because I actually have thought about this. I actually have thought about this. There we go. One of the things is I want the... I guess we'll just use Yumeniki terms. Is this too large? No, this is good. Actually, I guess I can zoom out. I want the Nexus... Actually, I think I can just... Yeah, I can just use... To be like... So I want there to be like a bowl in the center. And you mix stuff to open portals. So it's gonna be like taking a book, taking a page, taking a book from the pages of Demon Souls. I want there to be like a big, like, you know, like a cauldron or something in the center, maybe with like vines or something around it, you know. And these vines go out and they connect to, they like half form little doorways, you know. And then maybe there's like one or two that are open at the start. And you come back here and you toss ingredients into the liquid in the bowl. And then, you know, magic shit flies out, and little energy beams of mystical green energy zop on over to the portal, and then it like flowers and it like finishes forming, and you can walk through and go to a new dimension, you know. And that will be how you get access to new zones and things like that. The nexus of infinite pressure and density that tears wormholes through reality with the stolen mass of information. What up, Dome? I don't know if I want it to be that heavy. It's supposed to be relaxing and calming. Also, this emote is so dark, I cannot tell what it is. Oh, it's like a Darkest Dungeon type beat, but with like the anime glasses gleam thing. Okay, I get it. Now I can tell what it is. For a second there though, I was like, what am I looking at? But oh yeah, in keeping with the this naturey idea, I want you to be able to grow little mandragoras. This will just be in a separate area. It'll be the Chow Garden of this game, where you can use the ingredients to grow little guys. Little plant guys. And they say, hey, what's up? I don't think this will have any effect on what actually happens. I don't think this will actually do anything for you, but I think it should be possible because I think it would be fun. Because part of the fun of these games, I feel like, is being able to, or seeing all the different little critters that occupy these different zones. So I think having a dedicated space in your hub world where you can grow them and get your own little dudes would be very fun. And maybe they should start to just wander around. Like maybe there's a little spot where you grow them Maybe there's a little spot where you grow them, but then once they've grown, when you go back to the Nexus, they're just like, they just spawn in random spots and are running around, causing mischief. Tubing plants and such, you hate mandrakes? I don't know. I kind of like them. I think if they were real, I would grow them. I think if they were real, I would grow them. What was it? In Book of the New Sun, there's a mandrake. I think it is specifically called a mandrake. It might be a homunculus, though. I think it's a mandrake. But he's my favorite. Yeah, no, it's a mandragora. They call it a mandragora. He goes into the Tower of the Autarch and he finds a little jar with a mandragora growing in it that's being preserved in blood. And the mandragora can see the future. And it knows all things. And it's just like, please fucking kill me. I don't want to be alive. Please end my life. It communicates with him telepathically, and it just keeps being like, yeah, that's cool. He's like talking to it, and it keeps being like, yeah, that's cool. Could you please smash this glass against the ground right now? Can you please end my horrible existence immediately? That would be really cool. I would like that. Thank you. It's weird hearing the song without the accompanying visuals of weird robot cannibalism. I do like the music video for this song, but I also just really like the song. That was a Syriac music video, right? I mean, you just got to be careful. You just got to be careful about pulling up the mandrakes. You got to pull, you got to, that's why you got to give every weed a little tug before you fully commit to pulling it out. So that way, if it is a mandrake, you give it a little tug and it goes like, ah! And you're like, oh, wait, hold on. Leave that one there. Or just, you know, wear earplugs. Or just wear earplugs. We're never going to get anything done on this, by the way. We're never going to get anything done on the actual drawing tonight. I'm just going to be yapping. Here's the real question, though. Here's the real question. Do we give her the requisite sleepy eyes that all of these protagonists are legally required to have? I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to give her the sleepy eyes. Or if I want to give her, like, half-closed eyes. I don't know. As wide as possible? Give her no eyes? No. Bad ideas. Rejected. These are the bad ideas I'm talking about in the title. There are no bad ideas except those. Those are bad ones. I don't like them. Again, I don't think it fits the vibe. Maybe no. Maybe you can find like a mask that you can put on. You can find Obito's mask. Give her a setup like a hound eye? I don't know what that is. Do you know each other? Bedman and Dome? Why do you act like you're... What is this supposed to be? What the hell is a hound eye? Oh, it's the it's this thing. I know what these are. I just didn't know what they were called. Because I haven't actually played Half-Life. Also, no. These are better ideas for NPCs. These are better ideas for NPCs. What's a little chibi for? I mean, there is probably going to be a little chilly too, but I'm workshopping ideas for my Yume Nikki fan game because I've had a lot of them recently. This is what she used to look like, and we're somewhat redesigning her. I'll give her like tired looking eyes. I also kind of want, like... I kind of want maybe to have the hair over one eye. I don't know. We'll see. I want to keep this. I want to keep this pretty simple, pretty shrimple. You're known everywhere now. Okay, we'll do multiple different designs. But yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I want to do this quickly. I want to iterate. I want to keep the design simple, and I want to iterate. So I want to do this shit quickly. What was it? Yeah, it just kind of like comes around like this. I want to iterate. She also definitely needs to have some sort of hat. There needs to be an equipable hat, I think. I did like the way I drew the hair here, so I think I'll keep it like basically the same. I did like it. And it will be large, as all of my characters are required to have. All of them are required to have large hair. Equitable Ushanka? Maybe. You drew something? Okay, I was gonna say, if that was really since you last spoke, that was very quick. Do I know what an Ushanka is? Oh, it's one of these. Is it offensive to wear an Ushanka as a non-Russian? No, it is not offensive to wear an Ushanka. It is meant to provide warmth and is not exclusive to the culture of its country of origin. Thanks, Google. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Now I know. Maybe you can get one of those. If there's going to be a snow area, you can probably find one. How did I do the dollop? That's how I did the dollop. Needs to be smaller than that. That's too big. That's more than a dollop. You like the tubby tummy? I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. You're done typing? Okay. How do I feel about this? I don't know. I don't know if I have strong feelings about this one or the other, to be honest. Is that a nose ring? Hold on. Computer, enhance. It is. Alright, Bedman. I'll try not to. Why is it so blurry? I don't know. I zoomed in really far. The link you posted was not very high quality. This is it at 100. This is 100%. Yeah, the original you posted was not super high quality. You know, as I was saying before, this is supposed to be somewhat like wizard coded. More druidic. More naturey. So what's like the... What's the Russian... What would a Russian... What would a Russian druid wear? What's the Russian... What's the magical equivalent of a Nushanka? Don't say that. Don't tell me to worry about it before you leave. A mock-up model for completely unrelated what? You know, I don't really like this hair. Something about it looks off to me. We're gonna start over. We're gonna start over. What would a Russian sorcerer wear? What would Rasputin wear? Maybe that'll be maybe that will be one of the NPCs you can find. You can find the photorealistic Rasputin in the game, and he'll be like, I'm still alive. I've been alive this whole time. I never died. It's true. I escaped to the video game realm. That's what he'll say. I'm real and I'm in your computer right now. You'll never escape. Is this a headshot of the person you just posted? I see. Very thin lips on that one. I know about the Baba Yaga. Did she wear a hat? No, she doesn't have a hat on. She's got no hat. Why did they call... Why was John Wick known as the Baba Yaga? That was a strange thing to be his title. This one's got kind of a hat. She just kind of wears like head wraps, from what I can see. If she's got something on her head, it's kind of like a it's more just like cloth or something, like wrapped, like a headband or a kerchief or something. She doesn't really wear hats. A kerchief might be good though. They didn't use any glass ones. Maybe that is why. Who knows? I have no idea. I don't think she's gonna have a nose. She might not even have a mouth. I don't know. I think she's gonna be noseless. She's gonna be a noseless character. Even though this one had a nose. I do like the under eyelashes though. And then I kind of want her to have like a like a very flowy, like almost like a leaf-esque robe or gown or like poncho or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Probably with no sleeves. Should this go just down the center? Probably, right? Yeah. And then maybe like some stitching to like give it a little bit of, we'll see. Last thing, I guess. I don't know. I always thought it was weird. I just always thought it was weird. He didn't do magic. He wasn't a witch and he didn't do any magic. I don't know. I always thought it was strange. And she does also probably need to have some sort of hat. Yeah, he wasn't an old woman. Exactly. He wasn't like a witch. We'll just move this whole thing. There's nothing to transform, I know. We'll just move this whole thing down a little bit. There's a John Wick movie I haven't seen. What was the most recent one? Number 4? I don't think I watched 4. Isn't there gonna be a spin-off now? Yeah, John Wick 4. I never saw. John Wick 3 was just okay. I feel like it got a little bit. Yeah, it's called Ballerina. Oh, it's out. It was released, or it's already came out. It's not being made, it's out, and there's gonna be another one. Oh boy. Ooh, lordy. Yeah, that's what, yeah. You get it, Grinner. This is what I mean. It just was weird. It never made sense to me. Boogeyman? Okay. He's amazing. I don't know. We'll give it like I don't know. I kind of want it to just like come to a point. Maybe it has a little leaf on it. I don't know. Maybe it just is a leaf. No, if you can't see the hair dollop, there should at least be a hat dollop, I guess. That's a little leaf. It's a fucking weed leaf, dude. And she goes. There's also a bong chamber. You can also go to the hotbox room and you can rip bingers. Yo, what if there was a Yuma Nikki fan game and you travel to different realms by getting high, dude? What if there was a Yuma Nikki game where you could fucking smoke weed, dude? Is it for a break? Not yet, right? No, we still got a little time. He's 52? Really? That doesn't sound right. I never would have guessed that. How old is Keanu Reeves' actual age? Are you sure you're not confusing that with Keanu Reeves the guy? Oh, Keanu Reeves is 60. And he's Lebanese, apparently. I did not know that. He was born in Lebanon. Keanu Charles Reeves, whose first name means cool breeze over the mountains in Hawaiian. Alright. Sure. Why not? He does have a very distinctive look to him. It's true. He looks really good for 60, but he is also a famous Hollywood actor with lots of money. So I'm sure that probably helps. This is probably fine, right? For now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll do an outline of this, and then we'll keep iterating from there. Hold on, I need to vomit real fast. That was unpleasant. It did not feel good. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. I did watch a good movie the other week. I watched Embrace of the Serpent. Highly recommended. It's about... I guess it's got two plot lines, but they're both the same plot line. It's got two plot lines that are both the same plot line of a guy going into the Amazon and contacting a shaman to find this mystical plant that's supposed to be a cure-all, or at least it's supposed to cure him of whatever his thing is. And it's about this guy who's sick many years ago going to do that, and then it's about a guy in the present finding the same shaman and trying to get him to take him back there. So you follow sort of both journeys in parallel as they try to find this plant. Good movie. I liked it. I was a big fan. You get to see a lot of beautiful black and white cinematography of the Amazon. And they go on lots of cool, fun adventures. That one will make you think. I got a lot out of it, at least. I really liked it. It made me think. I don't know if it'll make you think. I can't guarantee how you'll react to it, but I really liked it. Alright, actually, let's get the hat out of the way for now. So I want to do both. Ooh. I want to do behatted and unbehatted. So we'll start with unbehatted. Going to the Amazon sounds fun. They didn't make it look very fun. But maybe. I don't know. Ooh. Tantalizing. This could be anything at this point. It looks like it might be the beginnings of a face, but I don't know. Maybe that's just pareidolia. They didn't make it look super fun, but let's get the grid lines out of here. Wasn't really using them before, but it is gonna be a face. Okay. It's giving me sort of RuneScape vibes based on that render. It looks like it could be a RuneScape character. I don't think I want it to have layers like this. I think it needs to be smooth. I think it needs to be smooth. Like the original. Maybe it just like... No, I think it can like go out and have sort of like a slope to it, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, we'll give her pear-shaped hair. We'll give her pear-shaped hair. I like that. I just like that shape in general, I think. I like it when the hair kind of like flares out and then goes back in. Maybe the dollop should also look like a leaf. I don't know. These are the questions that are going to keep me up. These are the questions that are going to keep me up at night. I don't know why I get so nervous about doing this kind of stuff on stream. There's something about going into an art stream with no real plan or anything laid out beforehand that's very stressful to me. It really gets my jimmies all tussled. I don't know why. I want to thicken this up a little bit. Performance anxiety? Maybe. I think if I go in with like a sketch or something and then I'm just going over the sketch, it doesn't really bother me, but I don't know, there's something about starting with nothing on the canvas. I think it's just I don't like my sketches. I don't really like my sketches. And I feel like sometimes it takes me an embarrassingly long amount of time to like get something that looks even halfway decent. Sometimes I feel like it takes me an extremely long amount of time to get something that looks even okay. Like, just sometimes getting down a basic pose can take me like an hour or more if for some reason I'm just not able to get into the zone. And I think I'm terrified that will happen on stream, that I'll be exposed as the fraud that I am. In that specific way, I've been exposed as a fraud on stream many times, but not in that specific way. I still like the dollop, but I think we might need to change the shape of it a little bit. We might have to innovate dollop technology. I'm not sure though. All right, well, with that, I think it's time for the first break. I definitely need to get some more water. I was waiting. I needed some a while ago, but I figured I would stick it out. I figured that I could survive a little while without immediately refreshing my water. And you know what? I was correct. I lived. Oh, I've not perished yet. I have not perished live on stream yet. Maybe one day. Nyan. Nyan. Fuko Nyan? What's up with you too, Minty? How's it going? How are you this fine evening? Are you feeling Genki? Daijobu? I can pretend to know Japanese. I should probably stick to calming, dreamy music during the break, huh? I think I do know what I'm going to listen to when I get back. Good catch. Good catch, Alchemelia. Scrolling through your music and seeing something that you wanted to listen to. Very, very sugoi. Subarashi even, some might say. That was quite sugoi, if I do say so myself. Anyway, I'll be back in a few minutes. I actually Forgot to get more water. Hold on, I'll be back. False break. False alarm. Or I guess it was a real break. It's a false return. Okay, now I'm actually back. No, I'm here for real. Don't worry. There's so many wires underneath this desk. They're bothering me right now. Normally they don't bother me. Right now they're bothering me. And they're getting caught on my little toes. That's the main issue, I think. So my little toesies are getting caught on wires, and I don't like it. You're made to learn that missing a night's sleep is the most effective antidepressant you currently have access to. Is it? That makes you less depressed? Interesting. I can't say that's ever really worked for me, but You feel a certain wholeness? You're glad to share this moment with weirdos like me. Aw, thank you. I'm glad you're feeling a certain wholeness. That's good. How dare you be so nice to me? What the hell? Oh, there we go. Now they've got a hat equipped. I see. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Where's this document? I don't even remember what I called it. What did I call it? Oh yeah, name possibilities with the word possibilities misspelled. That's what it was. There we go. That's what it was. You know what? I'm also glad that I get to share this moment with weirdos like you. This channel's made possible with contribution, the viewership from weirdos like you. Ding! Ooh, that would be a good, that would actually be a good BRB screen. I should make that. Like a public access PBS type interstitial where it's like, this is made possible with contributions from viewers like you. You know, maybe not use those words exactly, but that's a good, I like that. That's a good idea. All right, well, I guess I do have BRB screens that I want to make now. I have one exactly. I have exactly one that I want to make now. I should probably go back through Embrace of the Serpent and see if I can find a good screenshot. Oh, this seems like it's going to be loud. Hold on. a lot of the BRB screens are just screenshots from movies. So I'm sure there's definitely got to be one in there that would make a good BRB screen. I am a contributing weirdo to the Petricorp. That can be a little trinket that you get. That'll be a little like a little pin that you get when you buy something from the merch store. That doesn't exist, but may exist one day. You'll get a little like I voted pin, but I contributed. I support my local I support my local mentally unwell parasocial streamer. It'll just say I'm an enabler. Exclamation mark. That'll be the little pin that you get. Included free with your order. It just says I'm an enabler. I would want to do a whatchamacallit, like a, why can't I think, like a fan club, like like a fan club membership card. That could be fun. What is this? I like this face. That's a good face. I like the sharp teeth. That's a solid face. Kind of reminds me of Dolman Samon's artwork, who I quite like. I don't know if I'm particularly anarchic though. I don't know if I'm particularly anarchic or chaotic. I don't think that's really my vibe. I think I'd like them a lot. I don't really watch streams, to be perfectly honest. I'm not really like in the, I don't know, I'm not really in the ecosystem, I guess, of VTubers and things like that. Not that I'm like against them, I just don't really watch them a lot. I don't really engage with the community much or at all, I guess, so I'm pretty out of the loop, I suppose. But I'll check her out, I guess, if I remember to. I should definitely do that more. I need to do more networking, but I'm really bad at that. I should try to be like friends with people, I think, but I'm not really too good at that. More Discordian. I'm not really a Discordian either. I don't know. I was talking about this last night. I need to figure out what my main outfit is going to be. This one was always supposed to be a placeholder. I need to figure out what my style is. Because I kind of had some ideas, but I don't know if they really fit anymore. I'm also going to finish this out. I'm going to finish this outline and see what it looks like, but I just had an idea. While I was giving her this little errant hair flip, I guess, little cowlick, I was like, you know, she's meant to be sort of druidic forest hermit That's the type of hikikomori she is uh in the woods type hermit, not in your room type hermit. Maybe I could like, I was thinking of maybe like maybe mussing up the hair a little bit more, maybe having like a leaf or two like actually stuck to the hair, and like maybe like a twig coming out of it, like really just lean into like the disheveled like forest creature type look. Maybe even like horns or antlers or something that sort of like look like twigs. I don't know, that could be cute. I think I do want her to be human though. I think we'll say it's a they also. We'll go gender neutral for now. We'll say they're a they. That makes it easier to self-insert. We'll keep it androgynous. I think I may be inspired by having just finished reading Walden. I just finished Walden yesterday. I powered through the last little bit of Walden. It was good. I liked it a lot. It's very funny because the second part of the book, I have like the edition that's Walden, and then he wrote an essay called Civil Disobedience that's also included at the end. And Civil Disobedience is like really funny because when he was living in the woods, I guess they sent it. When he was living in the woods, he refused to pay there was like some tax that they wanted him to pay, and he refused to pay it, so they sent him to jail for one night. He spent one night in jail and then immediately wrote like a 30-page essay about how we need to like dismantle the government and it's corrupt. It's very funny. It's a good essay, but the circumstances surrounding it are very funny. He didn't pay his taxes one time and got sent to prison for one night and was like, we need to take it all down. This is bullshit. The system needs to be dismantled from the ground up. Yeah, exactly. The frizzled hair look I think could work. I think maybe I want to lean into that a little bit more. I think that's the direction I want to take it, but we'll see. We'll finish this out for the sake of finishing it and see where we're at, but I think I kind of want to lean into that. That also makes the hat more appropriate, because it's like you put on a hat when you don't want to comb your hair. I think that makes sense. And then there could even be a little, maybe there's a little mirror. Maybe there's like a little mirror or something that you can walk up to. And if you walk up to it and interact with it, she sort of gives herself like a little, she tussles her hair a little bit and the leaves fall out. I like that idea a lot, actually. I think it might be worth doing just for that alone. It like changes her hair a little bit if you interact with that. I like that. This is why I like working on stuff on stream, because it keeps, when I can talk about things out loud, it keeps the ideas flowing. You know? You're trying to wing it for the guy you're modeling. Is there any idea of what he's supposed to be? Or is it just a guy? Are you just doing it to do it? Does he serve any sort of grander purpose, or is he just like a guy? Oh yeah, I do also have to take a screenshot of this from Walden because it was very funny. He specifically calls out brain rot by name. There's a part in the book where he specifically calls out having to fight against the modern brain rot, and he uses the word brain rot. So in case you weren't aware, apparently brain rot has existed as a term and been around since like 1845. It's not a new phenomenon, apparently. That's not a modern complaint. People have been complaining about brain rot for almost 200 years, apparently. At least in America. Which is kind of awesome. I saw that and I was like, holy shit. Things really haven't changed all that much, I guess. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Grumpy Looming Graveyard Keeper? Okay. Let me take a look at this one more time. Let me see if I get that vibe. I think if it's meant to be grumpy, I think if that's the vibe that you're going for, I think the hat needs to be like, I think you need to bring the hat down a little bit. The brim of the hat needs to be like right, it needs to be like right at or right above brow level. And like, to keep the face in shadow, you know? I think that really will enhance that vibe. That will accelerate that vibration. If that's what you're going for. He got the wisp of a future child's thoughts beamed into his cabin. He kind of did. Part of the big thing is that, like, I mean, the whole, like, premise of the book is he went into the woods for a couple years and just, like, wrote his musings. And a lot of his musings were like, man, everybody's so fucking stupid except me. But he was kind of just like, you know, you need to separate from society, and you need to really learn about yourself and know thyself before you can like really contribute in any meaningful fashion to the people around you. You need to really divorce yourself from the hustle and bustle of life to find out what's important and like really think deeply about this shit. I mean, I guess civil disobedience was about this, like specifically with regards to the government, but his whole thesis was like, don't just conform to the norms of society because that's what you feel like you're supposed to do. Really understand what it is you're doing and why you do it. It's a very comfy book, I would say. If you're like me, I found it comfy. Henry David Thoreau, by the way, is the author's name. I don't know if I said that. Walden by Henry David Thoreau. Yeah, if you want to read about kind of like a grumpy guy living in the woods, talking about how everybody's super lame and stupid except for him, it's pretty good. And there's a surprising amount of wisdom in it. I really enjoyed it. It is a lot of like, it's a lot of idle musing, and it's a lot of describing nature, which I think is what made it partly so comfy. There's a lot of it where he's like talking about like his philosophy and his personal thoughts on life, but there's probably like equal, if not more, passages where he's like, "Today I saw a chickadee." And those are quite enjoyable to read. They're very relaxing. Today I saw a woodchuck and it was epic. Ooh, this is looking pretty sinister so far. He's getting pretty sinister with the high collar. One day you'll accrue a library. I'm quite proud of my library so far. I've been steadily... I switched back to physical books a while ago. I didn't really like the e-reader. I like having physical books. It's not something that happens overnight, though. He's intended to invoke sinisteritude. Well, you're doing a good job, then. I'm feeling it. I did start reading a book by Yukio Mishima today. I started reading Spring Snow by Mishima today. And I haven't made it far enough in to really say anything about it yet, but that just reminded me. Let me see if I can find it. There's a really funny picture of Mishima in his study, and he has so many books on his shelves that they're like, the shelves are like warping and like about to collapse. He's stuffed them with so many books. I don't know what I need to search up to find this picture. I'm thinking of a very specific picture. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here he is. He's got like a sword. Yeah, this is the one. This is a really cool fucking picture, by the way. But yeah, he's looking at, he's unsheathing a sword. He's got like a cigarette in his mouth. And if you look, you can see like the the shelves are like crammed full of books, and they're like starting to like bend underneath the weight of the books because there's just so much shit piled up in here. There doesn't seem to be any sort of like organization going on either. They're just like all over the place. This is a really funny picture. Yeah, this one too. There's just like shit piled all over the place. A very well-read man, I suppose. I mean, physical books can be stolen from you. Just it requires more effort. Physical books can be stolen by individuals as opposed to corporations. The major advantage to digital books, at least for me though, was like many things that are digital, I had a very reliable way of acquiring digital books without having to exchange money to get them. I became quite adept at acquiring visual or virtual reading material without having to spend money on it. Which you shouldn't do, by the way. That's bad. Don't do that. We'll give her some eyebrows. Should I give her a nose? I like it. I was gonna say she's a noseless character, but I think I like the nose. I think we'll give her a little button nose. What kind of nose does she have? Does she just get the line? No, I'm not a fan of the line anymore. We'll give her a little nose. This was when I was in my line era. I went from no nose to just a little line that's the suggestion of a nose. Now I'm in my nose era. Now everybody gets a nose. All they will leave with is buckshot. I see. Yeah, I'm a big fan of noses now. Would you believe that there was a time that I didn't draw hair? I was really bad at drawing hair. So I would mostly leave my characters unhaired or give them like a hat or something. Now the hair is my favorite thing to draw. I've been feeling very nostalgic lately, which I don't like. I was kind of thinking about it. I feel like nostalgia is kind of like, it's like a drug addiction. Nostalgia is kind of like a drug, and it's, you have to treat it like an addict. You can't allow yourself to partake. An addict is never truly cured. They just have to abstain to avoid falling back into the hole. I feel like it's the same thing with nostalgia. You just have to try to abstain as much as you possibly can. Because you always, as soon as you get that little hit, you can fall right back in. I don't like it. I was feeling very nostalgic earlier. Wait, I clicked on this. What did you say? What am I looking at? Row 3, face 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, right? That's a fine enough nose. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of a fan of like the upturned nose. You got any characters with like upturned nose? Also, this fucker's gigantic. This is my main. This is my new main. This bitch takes up like a fucking... Their head goes over the health bar. Row 4, face 4? Oh, right. Row 3, face 4. That's a wide nose. That's the extent of my thoughts. They didn't have a word for nostalgia. They just called it the wisdom of the elders. I find that hard to believe. They probably did have a word for nostalgia. I don't think... How old is your grandpappy? Unless your grandpappy's like 5,000 years old, I feel like the word nostalgia existed in his day. I think you might be fibbing. Oh, that sippy went down poorly. That was a poorly executed sippy, I must say. With all due respect. With all due respect, madam. I think it's just because I've been playing Third Strike. I've been playing Third Strike. I got in some good games of Third Strike with Picture Point the other day. And that always makes me very nostalgic. Very nostalgic for a very rough period of my life, but those were the good parts. The only good thing... Trudging through a fucking blizzard with my PlayStation 2 strapped to my back. Stopping at the corner store to pick up a 6-pack of Guinness. Climbing the hill. Up to Picture's half underground apartment. Playing some Third Strike late into the night. It was a good time. She enlarged the overall dimensions of the image by a fair bit. I do always like to see some concept art. Oh yeah, there it is. Bert O'Boyle is a great name. That's one of the other ones in the side. Bert O'Boyle. Thank you for pushing AI on me again, DeviantArt. I'm really glad. I'm really happy that you did that. Is there a website, like a image hosting website out there that just straight up doesn't allow you to post AI art? All of the ones that I can think of, like, have like some contingencies about it and like make you disclose if you use it or whatever, but I'm wondering if there's anyone out there that's just like, you just straight up can't post it, otherwise you'll get banned. Because if not, we should make one. And by we, I mean someone else that's not me. This is giving me LSD Dream Emulator vibes. The Gray Man. '83 and very active. He's always been quite active. I see. Picardo? Is that the streaming service? Isn't that the streaming service where you can draw pornography? The world's best creative live streaming service. Can you upload art to this? This person's not doing anything creative. They're playing a fucking video game. That's not creative. They're playing fucking Repo or some shit. Yeah. Bailiff, execute this VTuber. Bailiff, kill him. There's a gallery. Whoa, there's a lot of furry porn on this website. Whoa. That's way more than I would have expected right off the bat. I didn't even have to like say anything. I'm not logged in. I don't have an account. I didn't say like I'm over 18. Holy shit. One of these thumbnails has something that says leader breeder board. I'm not gonna click on that, but I just thought you should know. Hey, there's some Tokyo Mew Mew fan art. I'd give that an upvote if I had an account. I'd give that an updoot if I had an account, but I don't. There's a commission section. What is... Oh, there's a shop, too. Which also seems to be a lot of pornography. People are selling a lot of pornography on this website. Maybe I'll start streaming there, too. Yeah, I just saw that. I just browsed it. Maybe I'll peddle my wares. Maybe I'll peddle my degenerate wares. I don't know if I even have anything that links to my Ko-Fi on this stream. I think maybe I think the shill command does. Shill 2 does. I don't know. I can't remember what that links to. Hello, Seamus. How's it going? First of all, I said updoot. I said I'd give it an updoot. I think it's shill 2. Actually, wait. No, I can say... What does shill do? There's shill and shill 2. Does shill do something when I do it? Yeah, it does. Ignore that. That's out of date. I need to delete that one. Is there shill 2? Yeah, shill 2 is the one that links to the Ko-Fi. Or the coffee. Is it... I always say Ko-Fi. Are you supposed to say coffee? Are you supposed to say kohi? Like it's Japanese? Oh, yeah, that's right. It was Juneteenth, wasn't it? Happy Juneteenth, everybody. It's supposed to be coffee? Why did they spell it like that, then? Why did they spell it wrong? Alright, well now we gotta figure out a color scheme. We have to figure out a basic color scheme. I think I want this to be, like I said, I think I want there to be some sort of customization. So I think I want you to be able to unlock alternate color palettes. So we got to think about yeah, I was about to say, I think green and brown is probably what we're going to go with. A nice neutral one for the basic. I thought maybe we would stick with the purple hair, but that could be an alt. That could be an alternate. We'll have... This is what... Okay, we'll have the basic. We'll have the 4 seasons. Hold on. I need to take notes on this. I need to take notes on this. We'll have the bait. We'll have alternate color palettes. Okay. The color palettes. I like the 4 seasons, especially with this type of shit. Spring, summer. That's not how you spell summer. Almost, I almost spelled it like summer. Oh God. Fall and winter. They're a tech startup. They're honor bound to have the dumbest name renderable. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You know, for a long time I was worried about, for a while I've been worried about like how I come across on stream. Especially a while ago, I was worried about like, I don't know if I want to make a folder for this. We'll just do all the colors on one layer. It's fine, it doesn't matter. How I come across on stream and like not being like offensive or like that kind of thing. Seamus makes me out to be so much worse than I actually am. I guess it doesn't really matter. I got a lot of leeway there. Seamus makes me out to be so much more of a fucking psychopathic degenerate than I really am. So I feel like that gives me a lot of wiggle room. Use your whack account to log into uh-oh. I don't think I want to log into uh-oh. I don't know what type of stuff you do on the website called uh-oh, but I don't think I want to use it. I don't know if I want to use a website called that. That's the biggest honeypot I think I've ever seen in my entire life. That's like the most obvious honeypot I think I've ever seen. Oh, I didn't want to do that. YW? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. How many honeypots have I seen in my time and how big? I've seen a few. I also played Kingdom Hearts, and Pooh Bear had a lot of honeypot. He had a lot of honey. That was probably the biggest one I've ever seen. It's not yeah, exactly. Speaking of honey dicking, I don't think anybody was speaking of that. I think you now, with that sentence, are speaking of it, but prior to that, nobody was. I also don't know what that means, but I'm working on ideas for my Yume Nikki fan game. This is an old one. This is the OG design, and we're upgrading it to make it more magical. Not what YW means. I wasn't sure what it meant. There like multiple interpretations of what YW could mean came into my mind. You cannot get the torso correct? Damn. Have you thought about isn't he wearing like a big overcoat? It looks like he's about to put on a big overcoat, so you could just fudge it and do something like this. Yeah, anytime you put a period on something in Twitch, it automatically makes it into a link for some reason. Which is really weird considering how much trouble you can get in for posting links on Twitch. That they would do that so often. Is this, hold on, is this was this a mistake? Was that an honest mistake, or did you do that on purpose? You gotta be upfront. Was that a real Freudian slip right there? Or did you do that on purpose? Even if you say it was an accident, I don't know if I'll believe you. Okay. Hey Miko, what up? Is honey dicking a real term? I don't know if I believe that. A term for a male honeypotting another man. Honey dicking is when the CIA uses an attractive man to get unwitting people to do things they normally wouldn't. Quotation. You are honeypotting us, and he's in here to honey dicking us in case one of us is gay. I don't know. That's got a pretty even upvote to downvote ratio, so I don't know if I trust it. I don't think that one's real. There's split decision on that one. There's also a couple alternate definitions, but neither of those are very convincing. You just sneezed on yourself? Don't do that. Oh my god, that just reminds me. I had a horrifying sneeze once. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I wasn't feeling stuffed up at all, but I sneezed into my shirt, which I don't even normally do that. But I had a really big sneeze and I sneezed into my shirt. It was the most amount of mucus I've ever seen in a single spot. It was horrifying. Like, you know how they have like those little like thing, like, you know, like kids or like autistic children like to play with like the slime for like the sensory input and that kind of thing. They have like, you can make slime with your kindergarteners to fucking do something for a day and just take a break from having to teach them. It was like the consistency of that. It was like silly putty almost. It was maybe the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Look, for 3 seconds, everyone starts suffering the effects of serious drugs. What do you mean? I'm not in any serious drugs right now. The Interview movie? I don't know what that is. Yeah, stop honey dicking around and start behaving like real people. That was a horrible moment when I did that. I still to this day remember it because it was so shocking. It was such a shocking moment in my life. I didn't know my body was capable of producing something like that. Anyway, you got here just in time for the break, Miko. Congratulations. Congratulations. You got here just in time for the break. I don't like it when that happens, and I feel like it already happened at one point during the stream. I think Minty showed up I immediately took a break right after that. Stop doing that. Show up when I get back from the break, not when I'm about to take a break. Okay? I got here in time for your break? Okay. You've only watched for like 2 minutes and you already need a break? I understand. I get it. I understand. How long have I even been streaming for? Not that long. I don't know. I get confused a lot about time and its passage. I often get confused about time and how it affects me. You're able to slide in without being disruptive? You can be disruptive, it's okay. You'll never be as disruptive as some of the other people that have shown up in the stream, so don't worry about it. Like that fucking idiot who was here during the last stream. During the last draw stream. If you're watching right now, you know who you are. That guy. I wonder if they've improved their life since then. I wonder if they took my advice to heart and they applied themselves. I have a feeling they didn't. I would guess they haven't made any serious changes in their life since then, but I hope that they did. I'm not talking about you, Miko. No, I'm not trying to scare you away. I'm not trying to drive anybody away. That's my greatest fear, is driving people away. Speaking of driving away, I need to get up like right now. I'll be back in a few minutes. Uh. Okay. How much silence was there? Too much? How long did you have to sit there with your own thoughts? Any amount of time at all? I apologize for that. I would hate to do that to you. I would hate to make you confront your own internal monologue for even a second. That's exactly what the stream is aiming to avoid. Is you experiencing your own thoughts and emotions. I'm driving you away with my mean words? What do you mean? I'm not being mean. Ah, okay. I can see it. It's coming together. Are those the actual lyrics to that song? I don't think I actually know the lyrics. Smell of the game. Are those actually the lyrics? Or is that just like an interpolation of what they might be? Poorly transcribed the S? Damn. Unfortunate. I feel like testing positive for blood is a solid joke. I feel like that's a pretty solid joke. If I saw that in like an animated series where somebody gets their blood test done and they get a piece of paper back that just says blood, yes. And they were like, ah, shit. Damn. I think you need a little bit more setup than that. You could punch that one up a little bit, but that's a solid start. That's a solid punchline that you could build the joke on. Yes, Seamus, what is it? What's got you so excited over there? They're not sure what they've got in those vials, but it recoils for blight and lunges towards exposed skin. It's a good thing that's inside of you then, and not on the outside. Did I notice the tattoo on Shanks's arm? I didn't. I did read this one rather quickly. I don't remember exactly when I read it, but I was a little bit of a speedy reader during this chapter, I must admit. The tattoo on Shanks's arm. Let's see here. I will say I was definitely not expecting a King Harold flashback. I absolutely did not think that that's where the fucking story was gonna go next. Wait, where's the I don't see it at all. Oh yeah, wait, you can see it in this one panel. Wait a minute. Is that what I think it is? I don't know. It's kind of what I think it is. What does that mean? Wait a minute, what the heck is that supposed to mean? You're gonna try out your new wrestling move, Bronze Age Collapse? Please don't do that. I don't think I'm gonna have fun if you do that. Wait a minute. I reject that. Please do not do that to me. I do not wish for that to happen. It's the same tat as the Holy Knights on the arm that he get. Oh, okay. I was gonna say it looks like the world government thing, but with a circle around it. It's the Holy Knights specifically. Ah, the plot gets thicker. Give him a scar. I don't think I'm gonna give him a scar. I don't think they're a scarred character. Not that I have an objection to that. You know what? We'll say that they have a scar, but it's not visible on their person. How about that? We'll leave that up to your own personal headcanon. They have a scar, but you can't see it. Crash Rabbit Heat is a really good move. I have a wrestling themed fighting game character in my head. I have a wrestling themed fighting game character in my head, and their name, I don't know if it's their first name or their last name. I haven't really, it doesn't really matter. But their name is Giza, and their signature move is the Great Pyramid. That's their signature wrestling move. And that's the entirety of the character. That's the entire idea. And then I guess the rest of their techniques would probably be Egyptian themed. And I'm thinking they have a mechanic where you put them, you get the enemy in a grab, and then you have a few follow-up grabs. But the opening grab is the Cobra Clutch, and you put them in the Cobra Clutch, and then you have a few follow-ups. I guess they kind of work like Beowulf from Skullgirls. Character with a scar that was made from sewing from the inside by small robots. Oh. What does a scar character mean? I mean a character with a scar. I don't think that they're a character with a scar, aka a scar character. The grip Anka has on me needs to be studied. Look. Look. Give me a second here. Did I see the guy? I did see the guy. I like it. Again, I don't know. The more you develop it, it really gives me like the gray man from LSD Dream Emulator. Yes, Anka like Animal Crossing Anka. During that time in my life, I mean, I do still really like Egyptian culture and Egyptian mythology. Like ancient Egyptian culture. I don't know anything about modern Egyptian culture. But like, you know, that type of shit. I really like that stuff as a kid. I was really into Egyptian mythology and like all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if it was, I don't think it was because of Anka. I think I liked Anka because of my interest in, you know, ancient Egyptian mythology and aesthetics. I think that came first, and that's why I liked Anka so much. What is Anka Zone? Is there an Anka Zone that I can go to? Oh, there's a Internet Archive page that links to this. Topics: pornography, furry, hentai, with one review. The Sumanbi reached true goon state. 10 out of 10. Reviewed by Jacob Sacco. Alright. Oh, it's a -8 animation. Okay. Have I seen this one before? Probably. I'll just book that for later. I'll bookmark that for later. Oh, it's an... Okay, I see. I could have guessed, but... The -8 one is a tribute to the one by Zone. Okay, so Zone did it first. I see. Gives a summary of Yu-Gi-Oh! Chapter 0. I don't think that had very much to do with Egyptian culture. I think that was more about gambling, which might be modern Egyptian culture. I don't know. It's never being allowed to play people from your own cultural history because they only give those jobs to Americans or Brits. Is that Egyptian culture or is that American and British culture? Did the Egyptians do that or did the other people do that? You did that? Why? Why would you do that? That's fucked up. Other people do that to them, so that's not their culture. Who killed the president? I don't know if you're allowed to make jokes like that. I don't think you're allowed to make jokes. Please don't make jokes like that in my channel. I will get in trouble for that, I think. Is Trump still alive? Did anybody kill him? No, he's still alive. He's still alive, and apparently he did decide to bomb Iran, which is super epic. That's really awesome. I love Israel. They're my favorite. I love going to war for Israel. That's my favorite thing to do, actually. That's on my list of #1 favorite things. You know Israel's at the top. He's 79 years old? Why? Why is he still alive? He's 79 years old? That's fucked up. That's crazy. Why haven't we killed him? Once you hit like 75 years of age, they should like summon a panel to decide if you're worth keeping alive. Once you reach like 70, 75, you should be brought in front of like a tribunal. They weigh your contributions to society and your overall effect on the world, and they decide if you get to keep living or not. Otherwise, you get thrown into the mulcher. And your body is reconstituted into bars of nutrient paste to be frozen and placed upon the colony ship sent out into deep space to colonize new worlds. This is all hypothetical. I'm just saying hypothetically. I'm just throwing out... This is just a free exchange of ideas. Did I know Spider-Man will die if he does coke? I didn't know that. I did not know that, no. You wouldn't mind being mulched into plant food for your plants? They love you? You can you can volunteer. If you elect to be mulched, you get like a, I don't know, that's like a buff for your family. Your next of kin gets like a buff. They get like passive health regeneration or something, I don't know. They get like plus 15 defense or something if you choose to do that. The future is an MMO, by the way. This is a world where all sentient human life has been downloaded and sent into the computer program, where they exist as proxy life forms in a large MMO-esque scenario. I just figured I should throw that out there. I want to cultivate a world where there are only young ladies and me. This is what I'm talking about. I don't want to do that. That's not my main goal. My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know anybody. Is diabetes counted as damage over time? I think so. Depends on how well you manage it, I guess. I don't actually know too much about how diabetes works, but I'll say yes. For the sake of argument, I'll say yes. I think this hair might be a little bit too neon green, but we'll see. Oh wait, that's right. It was supposed to be browns and greens. What if I made the... And then I make this brown. A real muted color palette. A real naturalistic muted color palette. Danganronpa at Cross Riff Raft? Did you just call him Rift Raft? That's not correct. Rift Raft. My main goal is to blow up, but it's Kazuichi Soda. As advertised. I need to practice that laugh at the end. I need to get that laugh down. I don't think that's better than the original video. I don't know if anybody's ever going to be able to top the original video. There's no edit that could possibly be better than the original. Blowing everyone up is a real easy goal. If we made a virus that slowly activated and changed your cells to manufacture nitroglycerin. Is that easy, though? Is making a virus that makes your cells into nitroglycerin an easy thing to do? I don't think so. You like the mossy brown? Okay. Alright. You can top me? You mean the video? /S. Do you mean... What is the /S referring to? That's a multi-layered statement. I don't know how to interpret that. Is the I can top you part supposed to be the sarcastic part? Is the I can top the video supposed to be the sarcastic part? Is the whole thing supposed to be sarcastic? I don't know what you mean. Spidey got doused by a poison made by Doc Ock that's only deadly when the one affected does coke. He made it under the belief that all politicians do coke, so if he makes coke kill them, he can make them do stuff for him. That seems like a really roundabout... I feel like if Doc Ock could do that, there's an easier way to get politicians to do stuff for him. That sounds like a real roundabout way of achieving that goal. I think he could probably figure out a more direct path to that. I think if you want to get a politician into a situation where you can easily blackmail them, just like, I don't know, get them alone in a room with a child. And you'll probably have enough material to blackmail them from now until the end of time. As long as you're willing to sacrifice a child. Which, if you're Doc Ock and also evil, you're probably willing to do that. He was working with the Sinister Six, who didn't know the poison needed Coke to be deadly, which is why Spidey got doused. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm following the plot line anymore. I don't know if I can really. I don't think I know about what's going on. It's pretty easy with gene editing and time. Learning to edit genes online is real easy. I see. Those are wood elves. It's true. Learning how to edit genes is probably easy, but getting access to genes that you can edit is probably the more difficult step, if I had to guess. The redhead with the bandana. I do enjoy redheads as well. I do also like redheads. I mean, I may have ingested a certain amount of alcohol too quickly. I may be feeling myself a little bit too hard right now, which I apologize for. I may be feeling myself a little bit too much right now. I don't know anything about Team Fortress 2. I think I played Team Fortress 2 like once, and that was it. That's not a bad sprite. Peter canonically cannot do coke and must have disgusting, sweaty, moist, passionate sex whenever he's around Silk. Must he? Is that a thing that must happen? Proper noun, Silk? Okay. Now the real question is, does this character have a human skin color? I know that earlier Stone said to make them 5% more brown, but I don't know if that was a real suggestion or what. I feel like kind of an ash gray might fit, but I don't know. I could make them brownish. Actually, that kind of works. I kind of just freeballed that one, but I kind of like it. I'm kind of a fan. TBH. TBP honest with you, I'm kind of a fan. Fully transparent besides accessories. No, I don't think I want to do that. You would assume they're yellow? This is not a Simpsons character. What about the hat, though? What color should the hat be? I don't think I don't want this to be too complicated, but brown doesn't seem right. I don't know. Actually, maybe it could work. I don't know. Maybe it could work. A nice gray blue. I kind of want it to be like I want the cloak and the hat to be made of plant material. So I don't know if gray blue would work. Unless these are psilocybin containing materials. Unless their garments are made out of psilocybin tinged plant material. Or fungal material. Fungi are not plants. They're different. That's true. They could also be fantasy plants. We could try a nice gray blue. That's a little bit too blue. That's not bad. I think I might like the brown better for like a regular color palette though. I don't know. Or what about like orangish? What about like a more orangey? Ooh, I kind of like that. That looks pretty good. I kind of like this. I kind of like that. That works for me. Does the hermit not have access to rudimentary dyes? I mean, you as the player will have access to rudimentary dyes, but the hermit is pretty lazy. They don't care about their appearance too much. Wood textile made of a tree that's luminous electric blue. That could be a forest that you go to. That could be an area. That's not a bad idea. Blue trees. You're gonna go now? Alright, goodbye, Miko. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I hope you also have a good whatever time period it is. Whatever time that you're currently in. I hope that it's a good one. Every arena race has a redheaded option? Damn. I need to go evacuate my bladder real quick. For some reason, the sentence that almost came out of my mouth was, I need to go evacuate my uterine cavity real quick. But that's not correct. That's not what I need to go do right now. That is not the sentence that I meant to say, so I'm very glad I didn't say it. Instead, I'm going to go piss. All right. All right. Did I see the Red Guard women gif? I don't know. No, I didn't. Oh, yeah. That's pretty, yeah, I think that's pretty obvious evidence that somebody on the dev team had a redhead fetish. It's just black hair, black hair, black hair, black hair, bright red, black hair, bluish, black hair, bright red. Yeah, I could see that. I might be a bit drunk. Why? What makes you say that? What do you mean? You might mosey off for a snooze? Well, I hope you get a good snooze. If you do, in fact, decide to do that. And I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And that you get a good rest. I also just had another very, like... I don't really know how to describe it. I had another kind of, like, nostalgic moment when I went to the bathroom just now. But it was a very darkly nostalgic moment. I don't really know how to describe it. One of the Nords? That's a pretty good one. Oh, God. Yeah, some of these heads fit the body a lot better than some of the other ones. Some of those heads definitely work a little bit better than some of the other ones. Yeah, that's not a bad one. That's a pretty good one. I don't know. I don't know if I can chalk that up to the I don't know if I can chalk that up to the drunkenness. I think I just don't know how to talk. I think that's the real issue. Is that I just fucking don't know how to talk. I think the filter gets a little bit degraded. I think it's more just like I'm able to filter out those thoughts a little bit more quickly and adeptly when I'm sober. Which one made me say, "Oh God"? You're asking me to remember what happened like over a minute ago, which is a tall order right now. It was probably just the first one. No, I think it's the transition from the first head into the second head. I didn't think it was going to be a GIF. I didn't think it was going to be changing. But the first head into the second head is a pretty big jump in that image. I speak fine. Thanks, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I can. I can't help but disagree. But I'm glad you think so. Now, in this picture, I don't think she had. No, she does not have any whites of her eyes. She has no sclera. Which I might want to keep for this, but I don't know. I kind of was like, I don't know. Where is it? Do not open anything that you can't open. Okay, none of my recents are images that I can open. None of that is anything I can show on stream. What am I looking for? Yeah, here they are. I need to go back. I need to go back and really, really reorganize this shit. This is crazy. But for a while, El Spitto and El Shine did not have. I was just gonna have it be like, how do I do this? I was just gonna have it be like this, where it's just the eye. That's not quite what it looked like, but it was just like the outlines without the white part of the eye. But then I went and I actually added the white part in the iris, and I think it actually looks a lot better. So I kind of like, my inclination is to not have the whites of the eyes on this, but I think it will probably look better if I do that. I don't know. I don't know what I want the eyes to look like. I was about to say I don't know what color it should be, but I think it should be orange. I think I'm feeling a nice orange. A nice burnt sepia, if you will. There's nude versions of the sprites. I mean, I think you can still share that. As long as I don't look at it on stream, I think it's okay. Wait, this is what Khajiits used to be? They used to be just people with face paint? I didn't know that. That's a pretty big jump, I gotta say. That's a pretty big leap from generic looking human with face paint to cat person. I wonder what caused that. They just wanted to spice things up, I suppose. Speaking of spicing things up, I don't know what I want to listen to right now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm feeling. You're gonna go? You're still here? I thought you already went. Well, good night. Good night for real this time. That was a fake out. I got baited earlier. You're still here? Actually, I do know what I want to listen to. I saw this earlier. Not that I'm complaining, just like, you know. I don't like being lied to. Man, when I get the live 2D avatar going, it needs to be like really accurate. It needs to be really... I gotta put a lot of effort into it, which is partly why I don't want to make it. Because in order to convey the expressions and the motions I make, in order to make it worth it, it's got to be like really detailed and very subtle. Maybe you can hear it in my voice, the slight smiles, my devious nature. But good night, Grinner. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thy race is born of the desert, where life is cruel and harsh and death comes on vultures' wings. Thou art feline and sleek, deadly hunters of the wastes. Okay. I see. I think I want slightly brighter eyes than this. Slightly more saturated. The Omes. Born when Maser is new and Segunda is full. Okay. Neither Omes or Omes Rot have made an appearance in any game after. Nice. Reminds you of Snufkin a little bit. That's kind of the vibe that I'm going for. I don't really know anything about Snufkin. I don't really know anything about the Moomins, but I think I would like them. Specifically Snufkin. Where are they from? Finland. They're Finnish. Okay. I have a friend who's Finnish. Maybe I can connect with him a little bit by reading about the Moomins. I don't know if he knows anything about them, though. I don't know if he was like... I have a feeling he's actually American. I have a feeling he was born in America. But his family's Finnish. His mom is very Finnish. I know that. There was some video... There's video games? There's a Game Boy Color game, as well as a PC game. And a couple Nintendo DS games. One exclusive to Japan. Moomin Tani no Okudimono. The game was never released in Finland or elsewhere than Japan and China. Damn, there's a Moomin game that never came out in Finland. That's kind of fucked up. A new Moomin-themed video game by Hyper Games. Moomin Troll Winter's Warmth will be released in 2026. I see. What has Hyper Games made? Have they made anything of note? They made something called Egg. Egg with like 5 G's. It's a platform game where you propel yourself around using vomiting superpowers. That sounds fucking epic, dude. I'm on board. Also, I don't know if this is a girl. I think I decided earlier that the character is officially a they, them. I think they're officially whatever you want them to be. They're supposed to be a self-insert character, so... They're whatever you feel like. However you feel on that particular day. I said, let's stick with androgynous? Is that a real quote? Did you actually remember something I said? Don't do that. I said something and you remembered it? Don't do that. I would not advise that. Don't commit any amount of brain space to anything that I say. It's probably not worth it in the end. I don't know. I kind of like, this is like a question that I have. This is something I think about kind of a lot. You can't control your frontal lobe no matter how hard you try. Alright. I'm just saying. If you can't control your frontal lobe, then I can't control what it is that I say on stream. I can't control the expulsion of my thoughts out into the ether. Wait, so they actually are connected? The people Khajiit and the... They didn't just, like, retcon that? This seems like a situation where a retcon is okay. They tried to make this, like, congruous. They tried to make that make sense. Oh, the retcon the Argonians? Okay. I don't know. I try to, like, make character genders, like, mean something when I design characters. But I don't know if that's, like... I don't know if that's, like... Because in real life, it doesn't really, like, mean anything. In the sense that it's just kind of like... People just are what they are. But... I kind of have it, like... I think maybe I need to pepper in a little bit of ambiguity. I feel like for every character where the gender is like relevant to the plot and it like means something, I need to have one where it isn't relevant to the plot and it doesn't really mean anything. Just to keep you guessing. Just to keep you wondering. And I guess that's more like true to life, in a sense. Because for some people, it means a lot. And for some people, it doesn't really mean anything. Or not that it doesn't mean anything, but it kind of just, like, is what it is, and they don't really think about it too much. So maybe I could adopt a similar attitude. No, I don't know if I can... I don't think I can leave the character creation process up to chance like that. I don't know if it doesn't really work like that for me. I can't really do it like that. I guess part of it is just like... I guess part of the inclination is like I don't want to just include these types of characters because I feel like I need to, or like I feel like I have to have some sort of representation or whatever. Like, if I'm gonna have these types of characters, I want to really explore what it means to have that identity you know? Like I don't wanna just pay lip service to the idea. I wanna actually like examine it. I wanna have it like actually mean something. Oh yeah, this is the hat. Actually, no, I don't want to start with shading the hat. That's a bad idea. I could just make everybody non-binary and they're just there, but that says something. That is a statement in and of itself. Like, if everybody in the society is non-binary, then that, like... that means something to that society. You get to that point for a reason, you know? Like... like, because the society in which we live is not like that, you got to think about how you would achieve a society that is like that. I mean, it is just as much of a statement, but it's a statement that doesn't need to be explained. You know? Certain statements need to be explained more than others. Some things people are willing to buy into just instantly, and some things they're not. They need a little bit more coaching to understand. Let them die? I mean, I think in an ideal world, they would just die, but I don't know if that's actually a... like, I don't know if you can just say that and have it, like... work out in the end. I think it would be nice if that were the case, but I don't know if it... I don't know if you can just let it die. I think it might be too vivacious. I think it might be too strong. I don't know if it can just die. I think it has to be actively killed. If that's really what you want. That's something that I did notice about Deltarune and about Chris specifically, is that, like, Chris is like the anti-self-insert character. Chris is explicitly their own person that is in direct opposition to you as the player, and still people don't really seem to understand that. Which I don't know if it's just like people not is just people being media illiterate or not willing to engage with stuff on a serious level, or if it's just the fact that a lot of people who like Deltarune are like 15 years old. That one's a little bit harder to square. A lot of his adults. I guess you're right. I guess that specifically isn't really an age gap thing. You still have to see chapters 3 and 4. Is that an emote? What is that? Don't... What the fuck is this supposed to be? Don't ever post an emote like that in my chat ever again. I never want to see anything like that ever again. Knock it off. But chapters 3 and 4 are incredible. I am an unrepentant Deltarune fan, and chapters 3 and 4 are awesome. Small emotes are banned forever. You want to eat that? No, don't eat the tiny wizard. Don't do that. Viscacha? I don't know what a Viscacha is. But yeah, Deltarune 3 and 4 are great. They're really, really good. Oh, it's related to the chinchilla. I see. Rodents in the family Chinchillidae. Ah. They're very dumb-looking creatures. They got the sleepy eyes. They have the perpetually half-closed eyes. Most of them, at least. Some of them have open eyes, but most of them got the sleepy eyes. She looks so tasty, or tatsy. It's they, them, okay? It's not supposed to be a she. They're not supposed to be a she. I guess people really do just assume, don't they? They really do just assume. I try not to. I try to go with the they them whenever I can. I know, it's true. It's true. What is this thing? Get that off my screen. I don't want to see that. It's a Bandicoot? Okay. I don't know. I'm upset. I get upset that Undertale and Deltarune are like meme games. It makes me really upset that like probably more people know about those games through memes than like the actual games. Because they're pretty good. Especially Deltarune. It's way better than Undertale. Deltarune is like a million times better than Undertale. And it does interesting stuff. It has a lot of cool ideas. And it pains me to know that there's so many people out there who only know it via meme. They only know it via second or third hand exposure. Wasn't the chat consensus that Undertale is a mainstream game and thus lame? I don't think it is mainstream. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think it is mainstream. I think the mainstream idea of it is the meme idea. I think it's one of those things where the the proportion of people who know about it is like way greater than the proportion of people who've actually played it. You only ever see the girlies and gay kids talk about it. I mean, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can counteract that. That's probably true. Why is it called Deltarune and not Undertale 2? Because it's not a sequel. It's a parallel story. And we don't actually know how it relates to the original. We don't actually know how it relates to the story of Undertale. But also, Deltarune probably happened first. I don't know. Toby Fox had the idea for Deltarune before he had the idea for Undertale. He had the story of Deltarune in mind before Undertale, but he didn't know if he could do it justice, so he made Undertale first as practice. Deltarune is mentioned in Undertale. In case you weren't aware. In case you're a fake fan who didn't know that. Yeah, the Deltarune is mentioned in Undertale because it was the original idea. But he didn't think he could do it justice, so he made Undertale first. Well, yeah, it was called the Deltarune, but the Deltarune is a thing in Deltarune. Deltarune is called Deltarune because of the Deltarune. Yes, Gerson talks about Gerson talks about the Deltarune. Which I can't elaborate on this because it's major spoilers for Deltarune if you haven't seen the new chapters. This comes up in the new chapters of Deltarune. And it's very important. It's like extremely important. No, I don't want to spoil anybody. You need to play these games. They're very important to the canon of video games. You can't think of them as a meme. I hate the Undertale and Deltarune fandom because they ruin the games for people who haven't played them. They take full advantage of video games as a storytelling medium. The stories could not exist as anything other than a video game, and they take full advantage of that fact. They're pushing the medium forward, and people don't want to admit it because they saw a funny Sans Undertale meme, and they dismissed the whole series. They saw a meme about it, and they thought it was stupid, so they dismissed everything that the games do. They're really good, I promise. They're really good. You can hear that? You could hear me. You could hear me doing the smacking my hands together. I'm not that drunk, okay? You both sent shades. No, I can't do that. I can't personally send anybody into the mulcher. I don't have the authority to do that. People have found it very interesting that Susie uses the term bubbler instead of water fountain. Does she do that? I will say that is one of the things that it's kind of hard to navigate. People will read into because of how the games work. People will read into any tiny mention of anything in these games and try to extrapolate a whole theory from it. which can be a little exhausting. I wasn't smacking him that hard. I was smacking him decently hard. She's done it twice now? Is that supposed to mean something? No, I don't want this. I don't want to bring this into the stream. I don't want to bring the Deltarune theories into the stream. Toby's dialect bleeding into the dialogue, or Susie is from Wisconsin, Rhode Island, or Massachusetts. Or some Deltarune equivalent location. Isn't it? I don't know if we actually know this, but I feel like Toby might actually be from like Massachusetts. I don't know why, but that sounds correct. I don't know if we actually know where he lived and grew up, but yes, he went to college in Boston. He was born in New Hampshire and went to college in Boston. So yeah, it might actually be that. I was about to say, I feel like it's been confirmed that Toby's from New England, and yeah, he is. So it might actually just be that. That sounded really familiar when you said that. Yeah, he has a very distinctive way of writing, it's true. That's what I'm saying. Deltarune is very artistic. And very autistic. But it's also very artistic. I don't know, I kind of like this character. I'm kind of feeling it. How do we feel about what we've got so far? I like the color scheme. Although I think I need to color her hair. I didn't actually finish coloring her hair, so I guess I should do that. Or their hair. I did it myself. I misgendered my own character. I'm a fucking fraud. I need to be executed. I need to be summarily executed. Take me out back and string me up. End my life. Leave me to be consumed by the vultures. They shall make a fine meal of my flesh, and it will be the greatest purpose I could possibly serve. Stop it. They're good games, okay? They're good games. Something that I was thinking about that hasn't really been addressed in Deltarune, that's kind of like a big question, is like, where does the divide between humans and monsters come from? It was pretty well defined in Undertale, but in Deltarune, it's not really like, we don't really know why that exists. And it's kind of a big question that I haven't really seen anybody talking about. If monsters live above ground in Deltarune, why is there such a heavy divide between humans and monsters? They don't really address that. I don't know. I don't get it. It's got to mean something, right? Yeah, exactly. It's weird. I'm sure we'll find out eventually. But yeah. But I don't know. I'm pretty satisfied with this so far. I don't think I think I have to call it here though. I think this is the end of the stream. I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty sleepy. I'd like to keep going, but I don't know if I got it in me. I don't think I... Oh, this is actually the last song on the album. Okay. So we're reaching a natural closing point here. I did finish the drawing, although I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, because I came up with a whole different idea for what I wanted the character to look like, but we'll see. It's probably still going to be a while before I actually go to bed. Before I actually go to sleep. But, you know. No eye patch. Maybe that could be an optional thing. Maybe that could be an unlock. That'll be a bonus costume that you can unlock. Alright, I'll do it with my mouse. I'll do it with my mouse. How does that look? I was thinking about having the hair cover one eye at the very beginning. I kind of forgot about that, but I was thinking about it. This is similar. How does it make me feel? I think it's a little bit too serious. I don't know if I want this character to have lost an eye. Or to be blind in one eye. That comes with too much baggage, I feel like. Maybe it could be an option, but again, I think if we're keeping up with this character being like a self-insert, I don't know if eye patch could be, I don't know if that should be default. It comes with too much weight. It makes you ask too many questions. I don't think that's what I want. But yeah, I think this is the end of the stream. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you all had a good time. I had a good time. Like I said, I've been very like, I don't know, I'm in a weird mood lately. I'm feeling weird feelings. Not bad ones, but just like weird ones. They're making me think. I am very grateful that I get to do this though. That I get to go live and stream and have people hang out and broadcast my thoughts. Etc., etc. You know? I am very glad that I get to do that. Even if I do get made fun of sometimes. Even if I do get made fun of for taking an interest in astrology or being a Deltarune fan, I'm okay with it. I'll take my licks. Whether deserved or undeserved. Keep putting myself out there. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be here next weekend. I gotta keep saying that. Next weekend I will be away. I will not be here. 28th, 27, 28, 29. I will be away. I did look at the thing. I did see the emotionally overloaded Grundle. It's true. I didn't know that was a status effect that you could have in Dwarf Fortress, but I don't know. I do feel like I get too in my own head. I think about things too much. I get way too, I don't know. I get fucking crazy. I get sick with it. But I'm gonna keep trying my best. Is that a subscription? Thank you, Dom. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. I don't know what happened. I don't know what you saw that would make you want to do that, but I appreciate it. That means a lot. It really does. Screw the brain worms. Fuck them. I don't know. I don't know if I'd call these brain worms. There's something. I'm feeling like the positive equivalent of brain worms lately, I guess. Earthworms are good for the soil. You know? They chew through the soil and they rejuvenate it. I got that kind of worms. I got the good kind of worms. But what am I trying to say? What am I trying to get at here? I don't know. I'm trying to get at something that I don't think I can express in words. But I really do mean it. I really do appreciate all of you. Whether you're listening right now or not listening or you're going to be listening in the future, I appreciate it. It might be those. I don't know. It could be. But yeah, I guess in summary, I will continue to stream. Whether you want me to or not. I will persist. I will continue into the future. Whether that's something you desire or not, it will happen. Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired. I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you all had a good time. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow for the final stream pre-break. Or maybe the final stream ever. I don't know. Hopefully it's the final stream pre-break. It might be the final stream pre me turning into like a charred skeleton in a plane crash. Maybe my plane will explode into a fiery ball of molten wreckage that lands somewhere on the eastern continental United States. And I am nothing more than a charred, gelatinous blob of flesh and bone somewhere on the eastern seaboard. But if that doesn't happen, then I'll keep streaming and you'll be able to watch it. Anyway, I love you all. You're all wonderful people. Thank you for hanging out. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Peace out.